and that is our water resources. And I talked earlier about that, but our water resources in Indiana, we are very fortunate with the resources we have here and our proximity to the river and aquifer. That's not the case around a large part of Indiana. I-69 from Evansville to Bloomington, Indianapolis is being finished. They have their infrastructure of the road, but they have no water over in southwest Indiana along I-69. And so they're stifled as far as growth in terms of real growth, manufacturing, and industry. So I'm working on, because of my interest and my involvement with the water wells up at the River Ridge facility, to help and develop a master state grid, water grid plan, similar to an electrical grid system, of how we can manage our water and our resources better to areas that need it for growth. Keeping in mind, we share the same aquifer with Kentucky, and so best practices of how we're going to manage that so that neither one of us harms that aquifer. We have to have some agreements, but it's vitally important in trying to balance the interests of agriculture, industry, the recreational people really are interested in what we're going to do with our water policy, conservationists, water quality. And one of the big questions we're going to have to decide who really has the rights of the water in the ground. And that's going to be an interesting discussion because there's aquifers that cross state lines, such as ours with Kentucky. Who has the rights to those waters, the water rights below the ground? Who's going to regulate the water as we go forward? Should it be a public-private relationship, or should the public government entities strictly manage those? We have close to 200, I think 184 independent water districts in the state of Indiana. Some of them are small, privately owned, as we have here in Clark County. Others are huge, large corporate districts. But those are some of the issues that I think are going to be extremely important. And you probably hear that there's a term called fracking going on now, and that's where they're taking water and injecting it into the ground, if you will, to go down and pressurize the shale and extract oil out of the ground from this high pressure fracking with water. Now that's helping us to have independence maybe with some energy and oil, but there's also a cost to that because the agriculture people don't care for the use of that water. That means it's polluting potentially with the chemicals that you're putting in the ground, so you're trying to balance that as well. So a lot of issues, a lot of public policy questions that got to be decided. And we'll see how all that turns out. But I'll stop there. And somebody did ask me earlier, I guess it was you, Bob, about the Affordable Health Care Act and Indiana's position on that. You probably read that in the paper. Again, that's the decision that the administration gets to make or has to make. Right now, the governor's position is not to accept the exchanges and the offer from the federal government. And he wants to, we have a plan in Indiana called Healthy Indiana Plan, and it's really been successful to bring people on to the insurance program or have insurance of some type that otherwise wouldn't. He wants to, he's submitted that plan to kind of come up with a hybrid plan with the federal government's plan. We don't know if they're going to accept that. If they don't, and the state opts not to join up on the exchanges, then that money, somebody asked me today, where would all that money that go that Indiana was going to get from the federal government? And it would go back into a larger pot of money, and other states then would be, that would get involved in that exchange. Other states would participate and have access to that money. So that's a big issue where we're going to go with that. I think, Bob, you said earlier, it's here to stay. To some degree, it's going to maybe be tinkered with a little bit. But big policy decisions. I'll just close by saying thank all of you, practically all of you, for a long time, and I really enjoy trying to serve you and do the best I can for you, and I consider it an honor to be up there. Still sometimes find it hard to believe. I paid for Dick Wathen twice when I was in junior high, and never in my wildest dreams thought I'd be up there someday, but it's an honor to be up there to serve you, and I made mistakes for sure, and so be sure and let me know about those, but let me know about the times that you want me to do something that I can help you with. I appreciate it. Thank you all.